Reproduction in lower and higher animals. Chapter number 2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Our first topic is what is reproduction. So, organism reproduce from existing one. So similar organism is produced from existing one, that is called as a reproduction. But in this chapter, there is a two types of reproduction, sexual as well as asexual. But asexual reproduction is deleted for this year for this pandemic condition. So asexual reproduction is not in syllabus for this year. Okay. Now we will see sexual reproduction. So in the sexual reproduction, there is a fusion of male and female gamete, means there is a two parents are there, and in asexual reproduction single parents is there. So in the sexual reproduction two parents are there, two gametes are there, gametogenesis takes place. So this is the sexual reproduction. But after this, first of all we will see in this chapter what is juvenile phase. So after zygote formation, zygote forms embryo, embryo forms fetus or coitus, unborn baby. The baby, unborn baby fetus. Then after birth, there is an infant. Then child. So that childhood condition is called as the juvenile phase. There is no maturity. So childhood condition is called juvenile phase. After juvenile phase, there is a next is the maturation phase. In the maturation phase, there is a formation of mustache, beard. Drastic changes takes place in male and female.
Sir.
So this is a maturity phase. So in our life, there is a two types of phase related to the sexual reproduction. One is the juvenile phase, and other is maturity phase. So in the after maturity phase, what happens? In the male, formation of sperm takes place. Formation of sperm is called spermatogenesis. In the female, formation of egg or ovum or ova takes place is called oogenesis. So spermatogenesis and oogenesis collectively called as gametogenesis. So this gametogenesis takes place after juvenile phase, means in the maturity phase there is a gametogenesis takes place, not in the juvenile phase. So childhood condition is the juvenile phase, and after childhood in the adolescent age, teen age, there is a maturity phase is started. Okay. Then in the maturity phase, after gamete formation, the next topic is breeder. Breeder. There are two types of breeder: seasonal breeder and continuous breeder. Like goat, sheep, cow, buffalo, these are the seasonal breeder. In a particular season, they mated with each other. But in the continuous breeder, like apes, man, human being is the continuous breeder, except apes and man, all mammals are seasonal breeders. So there are two types of breeder, seasonal and continuous. After that, there is the next topic is insemination. So there is a fusion of male and female gamete to form zygote. But for the formation of zygote, there is a discharge of semen. Discharge of gamete is important. That process is called insemination. After insemination, after discharge of gamete, male and female, in the human body, in the oviduct, fertilization takes place. So that fertilization is called internal fertilization. So in the internal fertilization, there is a fusion of sperm and egg. After fusion of sperm and egg to form zygote, this process is called fertilization, and it takes place inside the body, inside the oviduct, inside the fallopian tube. Hence it is called internal fertilization. Now after fertilization, zygote is formed. Zygote is the first cell of our life. Zygote is the first cell of embryo. Zygote form. embryo. This process is called embryogenesis. So how the embryogenesis takes place? Zygote form morula. Morula form blastula. Blastula form gastrula. And gastrula form organ. This is called organogenesis. So after zygote formation, after fertilization, zygote is formed. Zygote is the one cell. This is the first cell of our life. This is the first cell of embryo. This is the first cell of our life. Zygote form 16-celled embryo called morula. Then it undergoes mitosis. Morula form blastula. So what is the difference between morula and blastula? Morula is the solid ball-like structure without fluid. But in blastula, there is a 32 cells are there and along with fluid-filled cavity. So blastula form gastrula. In gastrula, there is a 3 germ layer are formed. Ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. We are triploblastic animal. And gastrula start to form organ. And formation of organ is called organogenesis. So these are the steps takes place during embryogenesis. So once again I will repeat it. In the internal fertilization, zygote is formed. Zygote is the first cell of life. Zygote form 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 cell structure called morula. So morula form blastula. Blastula is the 32 celled embryo along with fluid, and morula is the 16 celled structure without fluid. So blastula form gastrula. In gastrula there is a 3 germ layer are formed: ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. That is called gastrula. 3 germinal layer, that is triploblastic layer. Gastrula form organs. This is called organogenesis. So these are the developmental stages takes place during embryo formation. This process is called embryogenesis, formation of embryo. After embryo formation, the next topic is gestation period. What do you mean by gestation? Pregnancy period. From first day to 9 months, that pregnancy period is called gestation period. After gestation, after 9 months, after gestation period, there is a parturition. That is called childbirth. So after parturition, there is a childbirth takes place. After childbirth, then there is again juvenile phase stage. After juvenile, there is a maturation phase stage. After maturation, in the both organism, male and female, secondary sexual character are developed. Which character? Secondary sexual character are developed. Secondary sexual character is also called sexual dimorphic character. Which are the secondary sexual character? In male, in the maturity phase, in male, in the maturity phase, secondary sexual character are formation of moustache, formation of beard, formation of hairs on chest, change in voice. These are the secondary sexual character developed in the male. In which phase? Maturation phase. What about the female? In female body also drastic changes takes place. Then the start of menstruation cycle, growth of breast or mammary gland, change in voice, change in the shape and structure of pelvis region. These are the secondary sexual character developed in the female. So development of secondary sexual character in both sex, male and female, is nothing but maturation phase. So these are the introductory part in the sexual reproduction. Like sexual reproduction, there is a fusion of male and female gamete. Two parents are there. Juvenile phase after birth up to the childhood. Maturation phase, there is a drastic and quite changes takes place, and there is a start the formation of gamete. Then formation of gamete is called gametogenesis. There are two types of breeder in the animal. One is the seasonal breeder, like cow, buffalo, dog, cat, bat, donkey, monkey, etc. What about the continuous breeder? continuous breeder like apes, human beings. These are the continuous breeder. They continue to reproduce young one. So our fertilization is internal, takes place because of insemination, discharge of semen in the internal part of the body called oviduct or fallopian tube of female reproductive system. After fertilization, zygote is formed. Zygote form morula, morula form blastula, blastula form gastrula, gastrula form organ. This is called organogenesis. Such stagial developmental stage is called as the formation of embryo, called embryogenesis. After embryogenesis, there is a gestation period, that is called pregnancy period. Next is the parturition, that is childbirth. Then there is a, after childbirth, there is a juvenile phase. After juvenile phase, there is a maturation phase. How we can identify, how we can differentiate juvenile and maturation phase? After development of secondary sexual character, that is maturation phase. And before the development of secondary sexual character, that is juvenile phase. So juvenile and maturation, two are the phase related to the human reproduction. So secondary sexual character shows our maturity phase. And before development of secondary sexual character, our phase of life is the juvenile phase of life. These are the introductory part, and this is very important for one line or fill in the blank point of view. After that, today we will start the first system in this chapter, that is male reproductive system. So human male reproductive system divided into two parts. One is the external and other is the internal genitalia. What do you mean by genitalia word? The word genitalia means reproductive organ. The word genitalia means reproductive organ, and external means we can see with naked eyes, and internal means they are internally present in the body, we can't see with the naked eyes. So which are the external genitalia or external reproductive organ of the human body? So external genitalia is penis and scrotum, and internal genitalia are, first is the testes, and second is the accessory duct, and third is the glands. So you people remember once again, this tree chart is very important before start of male reproductive system. First is the external male reproductive system divided into two parts. External genitalia, internal genitalia. External we can see with naked eyes, which are the genital or reproductive organ, that is penis and scrotum. About the internal genitalia divided into three parts: testes, accessory duct, and glands. Testes is the primary sex organ in the human body. Testes is the male gonad. Testes is the male reproductive organ. Testes is also called gland of male organ. Testes is about 4 to 5 centimeter in length, 2 to 3 centimeter in width, and 3 centimeter in thickness. These 3 points you have to remember. This is the dimension for testes for need and MCQ point of view. 4 to 5 centimeter long, 2 to 3 centimeter wide, and 3 centimeter thickness. And it is mesodermal in origin. Testes is made up by germinal layer. But in which germinal layer testes is formed? In the mesoderm. You know very well, there are 3 germinal layers. We are already studying 10th standard: ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. So in the mesoderm, testes is originated. So the origin of testes is mesoderm, and this is the dimension. So testes is the primary sex organ. Testes is the male gonads. testes play an important role in production of sperm called spermatogenesis, and testes secrete male sex hormones called testosterone, or it is also called androgen. So testosterone is the male sex hormone. Under the influence of testosterone, male body shows secondary sexual character or sexual dimorphic character. If there is no testosterone secreted by testes, male body does not show secondary sexual character. So secondary sexual character develop in the male body under the influence of testosterone secreted by testes. So how many roles performed by testes? Two roles. One is the production of sperm called spermatogenesis. Other is the secretion of sex hormones called testosterone. And under the influence of testosterone in the male body, secondary sexual character are developed. So this is the testes. After that, there is an accessory duct. So there are 6 accessory ducts in our syllabus. First is the retate testes. What is retate testes? Network of the seminiferous tubules. Network of the seminiferous tubules is called retate testes. In our testes, 7 to 900 tubules are present. These tubules in 200 to 300 in groups. Suppose they are in 300 group, means they are 9 in number. If suppose they are in 200 in group, they are 6 to 700 in number. So there is a group irregular network of seminiferous tubules present in the testes. That irregular network of seminiferous tubules is called retate testes. Very simple, you have to remember what is retate testes. Irregular network of seminiferous tubules present in the testes is called retate testes. After that, there is a vasa efferentia. This is a familiar word to you people. Epididymis, vasa differentia, ejaculatory duct, urethra. These are the internal genitalia. These are the internal accessory ducts we already studied in 10th standard. So which are those? Vasa efferentia, epididymis, vas differentia, ejaculatory duct, urethra. And last is the gland. So what do you mean by gland? The gland which are related to the reproductive organ, that is Cowper's gland. First. Second is the prostatic gland, that is prostate gland. And third is the seminal vesicle. So these are the glands related to the male reproductive system. We will see in detail one by one with the help of diagram. But before that, you people remember this three chart related to the male reproductive system. So male reproductive system divided into two parts: external genitalia, internal genitalia. The word genitalia is nothing but reproductive organ. So which are the external genitalia? Penis and scrotum. So which are the internal genitalia? Testes, accessory duct and glands. So in the accessory duct there is a retate testis, vasa efferentia or vas efferentia, epididymis. We will see in detail. It again further divided into three parts: caput, corpus, cauda, that is head, body, tail, etc. Next, vas or vasa differentia, ejaculatory duct, urethra, and gland, that is Cowper's gland, prostate gland, seminal vesicles are there. So these are the parts which are related to the accessory duct, glands. We will see in detail with the help of diagram. So you people remember once again about the MRS3 chart and introduction of this chapter. That is, what is reproduction first? You people mention in short on your notebook. Define the term reproduction first. Second, what is sexual reproduction? Second question. This is the assignment to you people. Note down. Third, differentiate between juvenile and maturity phase. Differentiate between juvenile and maturity phase. Or next, what is gametogenesis?
What, sir?
कोई doubt है क्या?
लास्ट क्वेश्चन क्या बोले सर?
What is insemination? All of you open page number 20 and 21. Page number 20, 21 textbook. What is insemination?
Page number 28.
First question. Define reproduction. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Second, what is sexual reproduction?
Sir, next.
Next, differentiate between juvenile and maturity phase.
Next, sir.
Yes, sir. Next.
What is gametogenesis?
Done, sir.
Next, what is the difference between seasonal and
Yes, sir.
continuous breeder? What is insemination?
Next, sir.
What
Done.
is the secondary sexual character of what are the secondary sexual character of male and female?
Yes, sir.
Next, लिखो. Give tree chart of male reproductive system genitalia.
Next, sir.
The male's
Done,
reproductive
sir.
system of
Genitalia.
Remember carefully what I can say about this question. In the male reproductive system, in the tree chart, you have to divide in two parts, external and internal genitalia first. Huh? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then you have to write about the external genitalia, that is penis and scrotum, and internal genitalia is testes, accessory gland and gland. Okay. Testes, accessory duct and gland. And you have to write about accessory duct, which are those like rete testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, vas differentia, ejaculatory duct and urethra. And gland like corpus gland, prostate gland, you have to enlist in your chart. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
okay, sir.
ना we
Yes,
have to
sir.
write the same.
हाँ
आपने जैसे बनाया था वैसे ही बनाना है ना सर हमें भी.
yes वैसे ही बनाना है.
Okay, sir.
Then I will
Okay,
take this assignment. Huh?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now I will start the male reproductive system. First of all, I will draw the diagram. how to draw the diagram. You people see how to draw first, and which are the part included in our genital organ, that is male reproductive. Now all of you see here, pay concentration how I will draw this diagram. Okay. चलो डायग्राम दिख रहा है.
यस सर, थोड़ा सा ऊपर करो ना फोन.
अभी देखो, this is refuse, that is called foreskin. This is glans, that is tip of penis. This is the urethral passage. This is corpus gland. Corpus gland. This is the testis. These are the testes. Vasa efferentia. This is epididymis. This is vasa differentia. This is scrotum. This is ejaculatory duct. This is prostate gland. Prostate gland. This is urethra. Urethra. This is urinary bladder. This is ureter. But this is not a part of reproductive system. Urinary bladder, ureter and urethra is a part of excretory system. But human excretory system articulate with the reproductive system. Hence it is also called urinogenital system. So neat point of view, you have to remember why male reproductive system is called urinogenital system. Because male reproductive system and excretory system both are joined to each other. So urinary bladder, urethra and ureter are interconnected with the reproductive system. Hence it is called urinogenital system. Urino means excretory system, genital means reproductive system. So excretory and reproductive both systems are joined to each other. Now see here, this is the testis. So testis is the primary sex organ. It plays an important role in production of sperm. From testis, after production of sperm, sperm enter in the vasa efferentia. Remember path of the sperm. From the vasa efferentia, sperm enter in the epididymis. Epididymis divided into three parts. Upper is the capute, middle is the corpus, and lower is the cauda. So capute is the head, corpus is the body, cauda is the tail. Now in the testis, after production of sperm, sperm enter in the vasa efferentia. From vasa efferentia they enter in the corpus, then cauda, and from cauda they enter into the vasa differentia. Vasa differentia carries sperm in the ejaculatory duct. At that time, there is a one gland is present called seminal vesicle. This gland secretes seminal fluid in the ejaculatory duct. Now in the ejaculatory duct, two fluids are present. One is the sperm and other is the seminal fluid secreted by seminal vesicle. So seminal fluid and sperm both enter in the urethra through ejaculatory duct. When sperm and seminal fluid enter in the urethra, at that time prostate gland secrete prostatic fluid. Prostate gland secrete prostatic fluid in the urethra. Now urethra in which there is a sperm is present, prostatic fluid is present, and seminal fluid. So how many fluid are there? 3. 60% seminal fluid, 30% prostatic fluid, and 10% sperm is there. So these three fluids collectively called as semen. Through this urethral passage, the semen pass. At that time, corpus gland secrete oily mucus, lubricating mucus. So, due to that mucus, this urethral passage becomes lubricating or slippery. So, easily semen enter through this urethral passage into the female reproductive organ called vagina. So, what do you mean by semen? Semen is the composition of sperm, prostatic fluid, and seminal fluid. Seminal fluid is the 60%, Prostatic fluid is 30% and sperm is 10%. So this is the composition of semen. So prostatic fluid secreted by prostatic gland, seminal fluid secreted by seminal vesicle, and sperm produced by testes. So sperm, prostatic fluid and seminal fluid collectively called as semen. This semen pass through this urethral passage into the female genitalia. So this is the male reproductive system. So once again I will repeat it. The path through which sperm traveled. Testes produce sperm. From testes, the sperm enter in the vasa efferentia. From vasa efferentia, sperm enter into the caput, corpus cauda. Caput, corpus cauda. Head, body, tail. These are collectively called as epididymis. So epididymis divided into three parts. Caput, corpus, cauda. Now sperm enter in the cauda, and from cauda sperm enter into the vasa differentia, and vasa differentia carries sperm into the ejaculatory duct. Now ejaculatory duct ejects sperm and seminal fluid secreted by seminal vesicle. So seminal fluid and sperm enter in the urethra. At that time, prostate gland secrete prostatic fluid. So three fluid are there. Sperm secrete produced by testes, prostatic fluid secreted by prostatic gland, and seminal fluid secreted by seminal vesicle. These three fluid collectively called as semen. Semen is the whitish bulk, sticky fluid discharged through this urethral passage. At that time, who provide lubricating passage to the semen? That is corpus gland. So corpus gland is look like a bulb, hence it is also called bulbourethral gland. Bulbourethral gland. So these bulbourethral glands secrete oily mucus. So passage become lubricating or slippery. Easily semen discharge through this urethral passage into the female genitalia. Now after that, the last part is scrotum, and these two parts collectively called as penis. So penis is the male copulatory organ made up by erectile tissue. So erectile tissue divided into two parts: median corpus spongiosum and posterolateral. What do you mean by posterolateral? Suppose this is the posterior part, this is lateral part, lateral part. So posterolateral is the corpora cavernosa, and this median is the corpus spongiosum through which urethra is passed. So these are the corpus spongiosum, corpora cavernosa, corpora cavernosa, corpora cavernosa. These are collectively called as erectile tissue. So penis is made up by erectile tissue, and scrotum is the outermost pigmented skin of testes. It regulates the temperature of testes. Suppose our body temperature is 37, the testis temperature is 2 to 3 degrees Celsius less than the body temperature. Who reduce the temperature of testis? Scrotum. Hence, scrotum acts as a thermoregulator for testes for the better production of sperm. Scrotum is made up by dartos tunic muscle. It is the pigmented skin muscle, dartos tunic muscle, and scrotum acts as a thermoregulator for the better production of sperm. It reduces the temperature of testes lower than the temperature of the body. So, the coolest organ in the male reproductive system is testes. And who reduces the temperature of testes? Scrotum. So scrotum acts as a thermoregulator for testes for the better production of sperm. Or penis acts as a copulatory organ made up by erectile tissue, and that tissue, that is, this is the posterior part, lateral part, lateral. So posterolateral is the corpora cavernosa, and median part is the corpus spongiosum. these are the tissue of erectile muscle present in the penis. And in the histology of testes, transverse section of testes, where is the seminiferous tubules present in the testes? Who is responsible for production of sperm in the testes? Who is responsible for secretion of male sex hormones called testosterone? We will see in detail in the TS of testes or histology of testes in the next lecture. Okay? Thank you very much. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
क्या क्या डाउट है बता देना जरा नेक्स्ट टाइम चेंज करेंगे अब
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
टेल मी डाउट वन बाय वन
सर
Sir,
चैप्टर
juvenile
में डाउट
phase-
कि वीडियो का डाउट?
हाँ कोई दोनों भी डाउट चाहिए हाँ
अच्छा
सर वो जुवेनिल फेस बोला था ना आपने, वो आफ्टर बर्थ और वो चाइल्डहुड तक ही है,
हाँ यस
और मैच्योरेशन है उसके बाद वाला स्टेप प्रोसेस यानी, तो उसके वो दोनों के बीच डिफरेंशिएट करना है ना।
juvenile phase up to childhood is the juvenile phase and after childhood means adolescent is the maturation phase.
हाँ
Next.
ओके सर।
Next question.
सर आप ये जो आप लिख रहे थे उसका पिक भेजोगे व्हाट्सएप पे?
हाँ हाँ
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
नेक्स्ट
सर नेक्स्ट लेक्चर के स्टार्टिंग में एक बार मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम एक बार फिर से एक बार एक्सप्लेन करोगे क्या?
No, this is the only introduction. In detail, I will continue in the next lecture. Don't worry.
ओके सर ओके।
Next. Any doubt?
So, secondary sexual character कौन से जुवेनाइल फेस में या मैच्योरिटी फेस में?
Secondary sexual character?
हाँ, जो डेवलप होते हैं वो कौन से फेस में?
Maturation phase.
जुवेनाइल फेस में क्या है फिर?
In juvenile phase, there is no changes takes place in our body, like formation of mustache, beard in male is the sign of maturity phase. Then there is a start of menstruation cycle, growth of breast is the sign of maturity phase in female.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
सर
हाँ
इंसेमिनेशन यानी डिस्चार्ज ऑफ सेमेन या दोनों गैमेट्स?
discharge of semen. But
Semen,
actually,
na?
that insemination, the term insemination used for in vitro and in vivo fertilization. In vitro means outside the body, that is external fertilization, and in vivo is the internal fertilization.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Next.